What's up, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Crosswatcher, 11th house Crosswatcher. Feel free to apply this to your 11th house. Check out runningguntarot.com. That's RUNANDGUNTAROT.com. Feel free to like, share, follow, subscribe. Reach out across all social media. Social media is Running Gun Tarot with the letter N instead of the N part being spelled out. Page of Wands in the reverse. This is being all geeked up, but not having a direction. So, in which case, the advice is always, Aquarius, to trust the map of your heart. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Concerns over stability. Okay, go into where it's stable. Something familiar. Shelter from the storm. Because these good times. Right? With the cloud imagery. And you was all about the good times. I'm going to invest in the good times. So I'm just trying to figure out my light. You were trying to invest in the good times. Okay. Right? That's an investment right there. You see the cloud imagery, you see the pentacle. But those good times don't last. These were the good times. Yeah, I know what I'm saying. Three of Cups in the upright, clouds in the background, and shit. Five of Pentacles in the upright. Those good times turned into bad times real quick. I didn't have an Uber home. How am I gonna get home? I'm all drunk, and it's Sunday fun day, and I cut myself ever. And now I need to go back. But I feel the eye of judgment here. Because I know better, but I wasn't acting like I knew better. Bedor. Hierophant in the upright is marriage. Maybe going back to a marriage that you left. Oh yeah, I've been listening to your calls. I know all the other narratives that are going out there, brother. Some of y'all left a fucking fully functioning adult family and shit. And now you're trying to go back. But you got your kicks. What's that, TikTok? Okay. I am vengeance. Oh, you motherfucking Hope Solos and shit. And not to throw mad shade, but it feels like the people that you left, or the person that you left. Because it goes both ways. You know, they're still kind of racking up their successes and their accolades with or without you. And yet maybe in your heart, you know some truths prevail. Some kind of interwoven truths that needed to be figured out, reinvigorated, activated, understood from perspective. Reality can positively be collapsible, though, in which case where one furthest element achieves and succeeds a lesson based on you quantumly having achieved and reached maturity and understood to receive the lesson. And then it brings you back to where you may have walked away or hurt others or what have you. Paradise on earth. Love can bring us together. Justice. Balance. Yeah, someone is very fond over this kind of person, this relationship, the idea of it. doesn't again have to be the narrative of someone that like Papa was a rolling stone. Could be you fellas, could be you. Whenever we laid his hair was his own. And when he done, all he left us was a college loan. Yeah. Let's see. I was a rolling stone. So after this, I mean, you just continue to invest in yourself with the Knight of Cups in reverse. After this fallout, felt like you were out of God's graces in your head, okay? And that is quite literally, metaphorically, like, they say that, like, to be out of the Garden of Eden is to, like, be in your thought, in your head. And so maybe you just kind of need something to focus on more so, which is like, I think what having like a practice is, like an anchor, you know. So I famously use mantras, but now I'm kind of more so doing like the focused breath work, where you're just kind of more focused on your breath. It's almost as if you're giving your mind, or like that little kind of like baby that needs something to, you know, tinker with. You're giving that thing in us, or in you, direction and focus, guidance. Maybe the guidance you didn't get from your father. Ooh. I know I heard someone with that. No, just joking. That's not my intention, but you know what I'm saying. But real talk, I mean, that's how shit percolates and manifests. So if you want to use mantra, you could just hum a word to yourself, just something to keep your focus. Like if you're not feeling confident in like a public situation, or even alone in your home space, you can chant the word confidence to yourself. Hum it in the back of your mind. You can do it during conversation, while looking at people having a conversation, interfacing with the world, reality. You know, our brains are capable of awesome things. Or again, you can just focus on your breath. I think it's just like a form of, it's handling existentialism, and it's a form of like being anchored and centered, especially with the mind, because the mind is like this kind of supercomputer, or it could be this supercomputer that's just kind of flailing. So I think it's always good to try to ground yourself and anchor yourself in these subtle ways. You hear a lot of people talk about like subtle energy and stuff, and I think a lot of that work is only capable and possible when we remove ourselves from the equation. That is the concept of limiting subjective self-belief, conceptualized version of ourselves. Whereas if you're objective, you're removed and you can see things clearly. So don't get it faded, don't get it twisted. There are levels and levels and levels and levels and levels to consciousness and awareness. And you know, when you live long enough and you are on the path, then you are humbled when you've kind of reached another level of awareness. Because you're like, fuck man, I thought I knew it all, and you're like, no man, there's levels and levels and levels, and they might go on forever. In which case that kind of makes life awesome, fun, miraculous, exciting, and amazing, and worth living, because we're just perpetually evolving into more awesome times. Okay, but you got to be on that path. You gotta you know, go through the cycles and get the experience under your belt and all that stuff, and learn from the wise ones and the teachers and the masters and all that stuff. They're out there. Okay, they're even on YouTube. Check out your Moojis, Mooji, Ram Dass, Alan Watts, all those guys, Terrence McKenna. Those guys will show you the way and open the door and all that stuff. But ultimately, it does come down to you doing breath work, doing mantra, doing meditation, all that stuff. Dr. Joe Dispenza. Okay. So holla at ya, boy. We're gonna do Pisces, and then that's it for May, Love and Money. A little kind of short-sighted this month, but I might put bonus content on the Patreon, so check that out as well. Love you guys. Holla at your boy. It's my Sammy Sosa. Peace. Pisces next.